Welcome back to our channel History Coins HD. As you that old is gold, but these rare Lincoln penny coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Coin number 1. Today, we're diving into one of the most intriguing and often overlooked coins in US history, the 1966 Lincoln 1-cent coin. It might seem like just another old penny, but don't be fooled. There are a few secrets buried in this coin that could make it worth far more than 1 cent. Make sure to stick around until the very end of this video, because we're going to reveal how certain versions of this coin have sold for jaw-dropping amounts. If you've got a coin jar at home or a dusty box of old change, you'll want to take a closer look. One of these pennies might just change your life. Let's get into the fascinating story behind this seemingly ordinary coin. The year 1966 was a unique time for American coinage. Just a year earlier, the U.S. Mint had stopped using silver in dimes and quarters due to rising metal costs. As a result, people started hoarding coins, expecting their value to rise. The Mint, trying to prevent a shortage, decided to take drastic measures. From 1965 through 1967, they made some very unusual decisions. First, no mint marks were used during this period. That means all coins from 1966 look the same on the surface, no matter where they were actually produced: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. It was a strategic move by the Mint to prevent collectors from hoarding coins based on where they were struck. But here's where things get interesting. Even without mint marks, not all 1966 pennies were created equal. The 1966 Lincoln penny was made mostly from copper, as were all pennies at the time. It features the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln on the front, with the words "In God We Trust" above his head, liberty to the left, and the date to the right. The reverse side shows the Lincoln Memorial, with United States of America at the top and E Pluribus Unum just beneath it, and of course, 1 cent at the bottom. It may look simple, even common, but the truth is, some of these pennies have variations so rare, they become prized possessions among collectors. Now here's where things get really exciting. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition is already valuable. But some 1966 pennies were struck with remarkable precision, or have rare minting errors that make them incredibly scarce. These include double die bursts, off-center strikes, and clipped planchets. Even a small error in the lettering or design can make one of these coins stand out, but there's another layer to the mystery. Some 1966 pennies were struck on leftover planchets from earlier years, or even foreign planchets intended for other countries. These coins weren't supposed to exist, but a few managed to slip through the system. When one of these rare error coins is discovered, collectors are willing to pay big money. So, how do you know if you have one of these special pennies? First, check the coin's condition. If it looks uncirculated, that's a great start. Next, take a close look at the details under a magnifying glass. Are there any signs of doubling in the letters or numbers? Does the edge look clean and round, or is it clipped? Does the coin feel lighter or heavier than a standard penny? Even the smallest differences can mean a huge jump in value. Coin grading also plays a crucial role. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect specimen. A 1966 Lincoln penny graded at MS65 or higher, especially one with a known error, can attract major interest at auctions and online markets. Over the years, these rare and high-grade examples of the 1966 Lincoln penny have made headlines in the numismatic community. They are extremely hard to find, but not impossible, and that's what keeps treasure hunters and collectors searching. Now, let's talk about value. This is the part you've been waiting for. If you happen to come across a rare 1966 Lincoln penny with a unique mint error or in near-perfect condition, its value could soar well beyond the usual collector price. Some of these rare coins have been appraised and sold for as much as $15,000 to $55,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1-cent coin from 1966, if it has the right combination of condition, rarity, and error, could be worth as much as $55,000. So before you toss that old penny aside or let it gather dust in a drawer, take a second look. That little copper coin might be carrying a story and a price tag that could surprise you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden world of rare coins, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a discovery. Until next time, happy coin hunting, and may your next penny be a priceless one. Coin number 2, we're diving into a fascinating piece of US coinage, the 1971 VDB Lincoln Cent. It's a coin that most people wouldn't give a second glance. Just a penny, right? But here's the twist: some of these coins, with a little luck and the right characteristics, have sold for thousands of dollars. That's right, 1 cent turning into tens of thousands. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and why this particular penny could be a hidden jackpot waiting in your change jar. And now, let's set the stage. It's the early 1970s. The Vietnam War is still ongoing, disco is about to explode onto the scene, and the US Mint is producing billions, and I mean billions, of Lincoln cents. The Denver Mint alone struck over 2.5 billion pennies in 1971, all with that little D mark under the date. On the surface, it seems like a completely ordinary year for pennies, but here's where things get interesting: with a mintage that high, quality control isn't perfect. The sheer volume of coins being pumped out meant that some mistakes slipped through, and a few of those mistakes became collector's gold. The 1971 VDB Lincoln penny is one of those coins where a tiny detail can mean the difference between pocket change and a small fortune. Let's talk design for a moment. On the front of the coin, you've got the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner, a design that has been used on US pennies since 1909. The words "In God We Trust" are etched across the top, Liberty to the left of Lincoln's profile, and the date 1971 with the all-important D mint mark just below it. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, with intricate details including the faint outline of the statue of Lincoln inside. Now, here's what you need to pay attention to: errors, die variations, and overall coin condition. Let's start with minting errors. These are what really drive up the value of coins like the 1971 VDB penny. We're talking about things like doubled die outbursts, off-center strikes, die cracks, repunched mint marks, and even coins struck on the wrong planchet point. One of the most desirable variations of the 1971 VDB Lincoln penny is the doubled die outburst, a coin where the design has been stamped twice, just slightly off alignment. This causes doubling in the lettering, numbers, or even parts of Lincoln's face. If you look closely at "In God We Trust," "Liberty," or the date, and notice a clear, visible doubling without the use of magnification, that's a major sign you might have something rare in your hands. Another feature collectors look for is the repunched mint mark, where the D was stamped more than once. Sometimes this causes a shadow effect or a bold doubling that makes the mint mark appear thicker or slightly misaligned. These small, almost imperceptible errors can massively increase the desirability of the coin, and of course, grade matters. A 1971 VDB penny that's been well circulated, full of scratches and wear, might still be worth a little more than face value if it has a unique error. But if your coin is in mint state, meaning it's nearly perfect with sharp details and a glossy surface, now you're talking real value. Coins graded MS65 or higher, especially those with rare errors, are incredibly hard to find and fetch premium prices. But here's a fun twist: some 1971 VDB pennies were mistakenly struck on a different metal planchet, such as leftover blanks from foreign coinage or earlier US coins. These wrong planchet errors are extremely rare and can be worth thousands to the right collector. If your penny looks oddly colored, feels lighter or heavier than usual, or has an unusual ring to it when dropped, you might just have one of these rare errors. So, what does all this mean? Why should you care about that 1971 VDB penny rattling around in your drawer? Because hidden among the billions of normal coins are just a handful with remarkable traits that make them incredibly valuable to collectors who will pay a serious premium to add them to their collections. And now, it's time for the big reveal. Just how much could one of these rare 1971 VDB Lincoln cents be worth? Well, if you happen to have a 1971 VDB penny with a dramatic doubled die, a repunched mint mark, or an off-metal error, and it's in exceptional, uncirculated condition, its value could soar far beyond what you'd expect. Some of these coins have been authenticated and sold for prices ranging from $10,000 to $45,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single Lincoln penny from 1971, if it has the right features, could be worth between $10,000 and $45,000. That's an extraordinary return on a coin that many people wouldn't even bother picking up off the street. So, before you toss that old penny aside, take a closer look. Grab a magnifying glass, check the date, check the mint mark, and look carefully for any signs of doubling or errors. You might just be holding a tiny treasure worth more than some cars, college tuition, or even a down payment on a house. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into the hidden world of rare US coins, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on more surprising coin discoveries. Keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, your next coin could be the one that changes everything. Coin number 3, imagine holding a simple 1-cent coin in your hand, just a tiny copper piece, nothing too special, right? But what if I told you that this unassuming penny, struck in the year 1976, could actually be worth a small fortune? That's right, today, we're diving into the mysterious and exciting world of the 1976 Lincoln penny, a coin that many people ignore but some lucky collectors are cashing in on for thousands of dollars. Now, you might be wondering, 1976? Isn't that just a regular bicentennial year? What makes this penny so different? Let's rewind history for just a moment. The year 1976 was a big deal for the United States. It marked 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence, and Americans all over the country were celebrating the bicentennial. The U.S. Mint issued special designs for quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins to commemorate the occasion. But what about the humble penny? Well, the penny didn't get a design change. The Lincoln Cent stayed the same, but that doesn't mean there weren't rare or special versions struck that year. In fact, this is exactly what makes the 1976 Lincoln penny such an intriguing mystery in the coin collecting world. You see, it's not just about how the coin looks on the surface, it's about the little things most people overlook. That's where the real value hides. Let's talk about the design first. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln, just like in previous years. His sharp profile, framed with the words "In God We Trust" above, liberty to the left, and the date 1976 to the right. Below the date, some pennies bear a tiny mint mark, either a D for Denver or no mint mark at all for Philadelphia. The reverse side shows the Lincoln Memorial, with the words United States of America across the top, and the classic 1 cent at the bottom. At first glance, it seems ordinary. But this is where the story gets interesting. There are a few specific types of 1976 Lincoln pennies that are extremely rare, and if you've got one, it might be worth far more than just a single cent. Some of these rare pennies come from what are known as mint errors. During the minting process, sometimes unexpected things happen, like a double strike, off-center strike, die cracks, or even coins struck on the wrong metal planchet. These errors are not supposed to exist, and because they are so rare, collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. One example is the 1976 Lincoln penny struck on a dime planchet. That's right, the coin is smaller and lighter than a normal penny, because it was accidentally stamped on the wrong type of blank. These rare minting errors often go unnoticed because they look odd, and people assume they're just damaged or fake. But for collectors, this kind of mistake is pure gold, or in this case, pure copper. Then there's the matter of condition. The value of a 1976 penny can skyrocket if the coin is in mint state or uncirculated condition, especially if it's been graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A coin that's been preserved in pristine quality, with a sharp strike and full original luster, is incredibly difficult to find, especially considering how many of these coins were used in everyday transactions. And here's a fun twist: even proof versions of the 1976 penny, made especially for collectors and struck with extra care, can carry value if they have certain anomalies, like a double die where the design elements appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. These coins are highly collectible and sought after, but here's what makes this coin hunt so exciting: you never know where a rare 1976 penny might show up. It could be hiding in your old coin jar, buried in a drawer, or tucked away in a forgotten piggy bank. That's the thrill of coin collecting. Sometimes, life-changing discoveries come in the smallest, most unexpected packages. And now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. You're probably asking, how much is one of these rare 1976 Lincoln pennies actually worth? Is it really possible for a penny to be worth more than lunch, a dinner out, or even a car? Well, get ready for this. If you happen to own a rare 1976 Lincoln penny with a major mint error, or one that's in flawless uncirculated condition, especially those professionally graded and certified, your tiny 1-cent coin could be worth anywhere from $8,000 all the way up to $40,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. A 1-cent piece, worth more than a brand new motorcycle. More than a down payment on a house. All because of a rare error or perfect preservation. So the next time you find a 1976 penny in your pocket change, don't toss it aside. Take a good look. Check for odd features, strange shapes, off-center prints, or anything unusual. And if it looks like it's in excellent condition, consider getting it evaluated by a professional coin grader. You just never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. If you found this video fascinating, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We have more incredible coin stories coming up, and you won't want to miss them. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare penny or if you're going to check your collection tonight. Coin number 4, where the smallest coins can unlock the biggest surprises. Today, we're uncovering the secrets of one of the most mysterious and overlooked coins in your pocket change, the 1979 Lincoln penny. It's a small, copper-colored coin that millions of Americans pass through their hands without ever realizing it might be worth way more than just a single cent. But believe it or not, if you happen to have the right version of this 1979 Lincoln 1-cent coin, you could be sitting on something extremely valuable. Yes, this ordinary-looking penny could be the key to unlocking thousands of dollars. So what makes a 1979 Lincoln penny so special? To the average person, it might not look like anything out of the ordinary. It has the familiar face of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that's been on the penny since 1909, and on the reverse side, the image of the Lincoln Memorial, a design that ran from 1959 through 2008. The date, of course, reads 1979. Simple, classic, and familiar, but here's where things start to get interesting. While most of these pennies were produced by the billions and still float around in circulation today, some of them were struck with errors, variations, or exceptional quality that make them incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. Let's start with the basics. The 1979 Lincoln penny was minted at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If your coin has no mint mark under the date, it came from Philadelphia. A small d means it was minted in Denver, and an S indicates San Francisco. Most of these are common. But certain small details, very small, can make a huge difference in the value. For example, some 1979 pennies have a double die error. That means the coin was struck twice by the minting press, and if you look closely, especially at the lettering or the date, you might see a faint doubling of the letters or numbers. This isn't damage. It's a factory mistake, and collectors absolutely love these types of coins. Another key variation is in the proof coins that were minted in San Francisco. These are special coins, made with high detail and a shiny mirror-like finish, usually for collectors. But even among proof coins, not all are the same. In 1979, there were 2 different types of S mint marks used on proof pennies, known as the Type 1 and Type 2 varieties. The Type 1 S mint mark is more blurry and filled in, while the Type 2 mint mark is sharply defined and much clearer. The Type 2 is much rarer, and if your 1979 S penny has the clear, sharp mint mark, you could be holding a much more desirable coin than you think. And let's not forget about off-metal errors, a 1979 Lincoln penny that was accidentally struck on a different planchet, like a dime blank. These coins come out looking smaller or lighter, and many people throw them away thinking they're fake or damaged. But in the world of coin collecting, that kind of mistake can mean big bucks. Of course, condition is everything. A 1979 penny that's been through years of circulation, scratched, worn, and dull, might not be worth much more than face value. But a coin that's been carefully preserved, stored away from dirt and moisture, and still has its full color and shine, that's where the value shoots up. Especially if it's been officially graded and certified by services like PCGS or NGC. Graded coins are reviewed by experts and assigned a grade, from poor to perfect mint state. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A 1979 penny with a rare error and a high grade? That's where things get exciting, and here's the part that collectors love the most: these valuable pennies aren't locked away in museums or secret vaults. They're out there in old jars, forgotten drawers, childhood collections, or even loose change in your car or couch cushions. You don't need to be a millionaire to find one. You just need a sharp eye and a little bit of luck. So now comes the question you've been waiting for: how much could a rare 1979 Lincoln penny actually be worth? Well, if you have one of these elusive coins, maybe with a rare double die error, a high-grade proof with the clear Type 2 mint mark, or a striking mistake like an off-metal planchet, and it's in exceptional condition, then you might be holding a penny that's worth anywhere between $6,000 and $35,000. Yes, a single cent, worth more than some cars. More than a semester of college. Possibly even more than a year's rent. That's the thrill of coin collecting. Sometimes the most ordinary things hide the most extraordinary value. So don't overlook your change. Go digging through those old boxes, piggy banks, and dusty drawers. Take a closer look at your pennies. And who knows, the next time you pick up a 1979 1-cent coin, it might just change your life. Thanks for watching, and if you love coin stories like this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a discovery. Share this video with your friends and family, because who wouldn't want to find a $35,000 penny hiding in plain sight? Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and happy treasure hunting. Coin number 5, we're diving deep into the mystery of the 1980 Lincoln penny, a common-looking coin with a not-so-common secret. This little copper treasure, tucked away in millions of wallets, jars, and drawers, might just be holding a value far beyond what you'd ever expect. You're going to want to pay close attention, because the right version of this coin could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Let's take a trip back to 1980. Ronald Reagan was running for president. The Rubik's Cube was exploding in popularity. The U.S. economy was going through major changes, and the cost of copper was on the rise. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint continued producing billions of pennies like it was business as usual. Or was it? On the surface, the 1980 penny doesn't look much different from others. On the front, or obverse, you'll see the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, America's 16th president, facing right. Above him, the motto, "In God We Trust." To the left, the word liberty. And to the right, the date, 1980. Now, here's where it starts to get interesting. Right below the year, you might see a small letter, a D or no letter at all. If there's a D, that means the coin was minted in Denver. No letter? That means it was minted in Philadelphia. These details might seem minor, but when it comes to coin values, small details can make a huge difference. Now flip the coin over. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, as was standard on pennies from 1959 to 2008. Look closely at the steps, the pillars, the tiny figure of Lincoln sitting inside. It's a beautiful design, but it's also where hidden flaws sometimes show themselves. You see, while billions of 1980 pennies were made, only a tiny fraction came out with rare features that collectors go absolutely crazy for. We're talking about error coins and special minting anomalies that were never meant to exist. Let's talk about double die errors. This happens when the coin design is struck more than once, and the two impressions don't line up perfectly. The result? A ghostly doubling of the date, the letters, or even parts of Lincoln's image. These coins often slip through unnoticed and end up in circulation, waiting for a sharp-eyed collector to spot them. Then there's the off-center strike, where the design is noticeably shifted to one side. Part of the design might even be cut off. This kind of minting mistake is easy to miss but highly prized. The more dramatic the shift, the higher the value. Another fascinating variant is the 1980 Lincoln penny struck on the wrong planchet. In some cases, a penny was accidentally struck on a dime-sized blank or even a foreign coin blank. These coins are lighter, smaller, and might even look silver-colored. If you ever find a 1980 penny that feels different or looks unusual, don't toss it away. It could be something truly special. And now, let's talk about metal composition. By 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the metal content of pennies from mostly copper to copper-plated zinc, because copper was becoming too expensive. But in 1980, pennies were still made from 95% copper. That means each one already carries a bit of intrinsic value. But combine that with a rare error, and suddenly you're looking at a collector's dream. And of course, we can't ignore the importance of condition. If your 1980 penny is scratched, dirty, or worn, its value might stay low. But if it's in pristine condition, what collectors call mint state, with no signs of wear, strong detail, and full original luster, it can be worth significantly more. And if it's graded and authenticated by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, that value goes even higher. You might be thinking, okay, this sounds interesting, but how do I know if I have a rare one? That's the fun part. It all starts with looking closely. Use a magnifying glass. Examine the lettering. Check for doubling. Look at the edges, the color, and the surface of the coin. If something looks off, that might be a very good sign. And here's the thing, these rare 1980 pennies aren't just sitting in museum displays. They're out there. In old change jars. In forgotten piggy banks. In inherited collections. People come across these coins every year and don't even realize what they have. Until, of course, they find out and cash in. And now, let's get to the most exciting part of this journey. If you are lucky enough to come across a 1980 Lincoln penny with a major mint error, like a double die, off-center strike, or one struck on the wrong metal planchet, and if it's in excellent condition, possibly even professionally graded, then your 1-cent coin could be worth anywhere between $4,000 and $30,000. That's right. One small copper coin. The kind you could find under your car seat, in your kitchen drawer, or in your childhood coin collection, worth as much as a new car or even a down payment on a home. This is why we love coin collecting. It's like a treasure hunt where the treasure is hidden in plain sight. So what are you waiting for? Start checking your change. Open up those old jars. Revisit your childhood collection. Because the next time you find a 1980 penny, you just might be holding a fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins you might already own, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next treasure hunt. Share this with your friends and family too, because you never know who might be sitting on a $30,000 penny without even realizing it.